¿Qué pasa, YouTube? SixftHax here. Have for you guys today a video regarding the playoff scene in Pokemon Full Glory Season 3. Now, for those of you who may not know, last week was our final week of the regular season. Basically, the last match was uploaded earlier Sunday, or the Sunday that we just had. So if you guys want to go check that out, then definitely check it out. It was a match I did with my son against Dan, which was very fun. But that was our final match of the regular season. So some of you guys may not even know like who got into playoffs, but I mean, obviously I guess it's kind of spoiled down below me. But those are the first round matchups, and the reason why I wanted to make this video was just to kind of go over the playoff scene, kind of like give my thoughts and inputs of like maybe what's going to happen in the matches, or like what could happen and may not happen. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, who is the team that you would like to see win season 3 of P4G. Doesn't have to be myself. It does not bother me if it is not, but let me know in the comment section below who it is, and it better be me. But it's okay if it's not. It's okay. See, you're only on my channel watching the video, so it's okay. I'm joking. I'm just joking. I'm joking. But yeah, so we did manage to finish second overall, which is really great. Joey kind of blew everybody out of the water, only losing one match, which I think was even just the freeze. And then the one match I lost was against Joey, and then the final match against Dan, which was week 12, the last match of the season, didn't matter because at that point we guaranteed finishing number two, and Dan guaranteed finishing number 3. So I think it's pretty safe to say everybody that probably followed P4G expected us 3 to definitely make it into playoffs. So that's very, very awesome. We have some coaches I'm surprised made it in at the very end. Like, I'm not surprised they made playoffs essentially, but I'm surprised they kind of like we're able to squeeze right through. And who knows, maybe we have some really good dark horses. Like John's very consistent. John always makes playoffs, so I was not surprised by him. I was surprised though that my boy, the man himself, Kelly, under the radar coach of the Maryland Torterrapins, actually made playoffs. And I know lately he hasn't been too much into Mons, but hey, he's still a pretty solid player, so I guess it shouldn't be surprising that he didn't make it. I think he did actually make it to the finals of last season and unfortunately lost in the finals. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Glad to see Drew, Mr. Talent, it's Nips there, coach of the New York Marauders, clutching the 7th spot there, which is pretty cool. The 6th spot, sorry, not the 7th spot. And then Greg and Professor FX, I kind of expected them to make playoffs, but if they hadn't have made it at the same time, I wouldn't have been surprised. But hey, at least they got in. So again, like, we have some dark horses. We got some really good potential matches going on. The first match is going to be Joey versus John. Why do I keep forgetting people's names? So as you can see, like, this is like the little matchup. Like, I just kind of wanted to like look through the teams real quickly and then maybe like give like a little words here and there of the matchup. I don't know. It's just, I want to do this for fun. I thought it'd be a good idea. Hopefully you guys do enjoy. I may do this for future leagues actually, but I just really wanted to get this up because I don't think the P4G channel has been uploading much lately, and I don't think that they're going to worry too much about like covering the playoffs. So I was like, hey, I kind of want to do it, so I'm going to do it. So yeah, hey, how's it going? I know I've kind of been rambling, and I apologize. So yeah, the first thing I noticed from the matchup is that I'm pretty sure Joey does have the faster speed tiers. And basically like just the faster draft in general, so that's something that he can definitely use to his advantage. John does have some decent tanks going into this game, like Bronzong is tried and true. Decidueye is going to have to be his answer for Zydog, but if he loses Decidueye, then Zydog just kind of comes in, and Joey's been using Zydog very, very well this season. So I'm hoping that John will be able to be careful and be ready for Zydog, because Zydog definitely can put in a lot of work here. His dark type is Mighty Yano, which is a little bit unfortunate because Mesprit is just such a bulky monster of a defensive psychic type. So I don't know, I feel like if I had to give an edge, I'd maybe give it to Joey, just because Zydog is a huge issue. Even Roserade, honestly, like if he's able to weaken the Bronzong, like he just needs to have Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire hits both the Decidueye and the Bronzong. So Roserade could be a bit of an issue for John to deal with. So another thing he definitely has to watch out for. But John does have some decent threats of his own. Of course, Mienshao is absurdly terrifying. Even though Joey does have 2 psychic types, Mesprit's going to get worn down by the constant U-turning, and Duosion can lose its Violite, so it's not going to be as bulky, of course. So Mienshao, a giant threat to Joey's team. And potentially even the what's it called? The Cloister, like Shell Smash Cloister, could be very, very scary for Joe to deal with as well. So John may not have like the best matchup, but I think it's almost a little bit even, but I would give the little extra mile to Joey just in this match. But hopefully it's a good match. I could definitely see John pulling out a very big upset. He's pulled out upsets before. I've seen him do well in playoffs, so who knows. Joey could fall to John, or John could just fall to Joey. Either way, it could go back and forth. Next matchup is me and my boy Kelly under the radar. I'm not gonna touch on this matchup just because we're gonna be facing each other anyway, so I don't want to give away any potential type of information, if you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we're just gonna move on over here to the next matchup, which is going to be Dan versus Drew, coach of the respectful St. Louis Rapardos, which is A Drive, and then the New York Marauders, which is Mr. Nips. So this matchup, I really am loving the rain from Dan. Like, Dan's shown that just the rain core in general that he has is very, very scary to deal with, honestly. Like, tier 3 and below rain has been used very well by Dan, so I definitely expect him to want to bring it to this match. And of course, you already know Drew's gonna have to prepare for that some way, so rain is very, very scary for Dan to deal with. However, though, at the same time, Alola Marowak is very difficult for Dan to try to switch into, and just about almost completely counters his own fire type. Yes, he could set up the rain, but with Alola Marowak being a part ghost type, that Shadow Bone is going to be absolutely mollywhopping. And like, look at Dan's team here. Like, he really doesn't have a safe switch in to the Alola Marowak. So I don't know if Drew would like pull out some type of Trick Room variant. I don't think Clefairy gets Trick Room. I think Sigilyph gets it, but hey, even then, just if he is able to get Alola Marowak in Trick Room, that thing is going to be absurdly terrifying. Maybe even a potentially offensive Heliolisk could be really cool this match. Actually, I could definitely see Drew running a dry skin Heliolisk. That would be kind of cool, actually, to be able to kind of counteract the rain. But for the most part, the rain is very, very scary versus Drew. Drew does have some threats, but I definitely have to give this matchup to Dan, just because of how scary he's been using his rain offense. And just because, even though he does have like Blastoise and Chestnut, those are going to get worn down. What's it called? Chestnut can't use Synthesis for its full coverage in rain. Basically in weather, he's only going to gain back 1/3 of HP as opposed to 1/2. And then Blastoise does have access to Rain Dish, but it can only take so many hits over time. And Dan does have a Ludicolo, which is a grass type, so that's automatically going to beat it. And then he could be like Z Continental Crush on Kabutops, which at +2 destroys Blastoise as well. So Drew does have some ways of dealing with the rain, but I'm interested to see just how he's going to work with it, because this definitely has potential to be a good match depending on the prep and how things go. But I do have to give the matchup to Dan. So yeah, we're just gonna move on to the next and the final match of the first round of the playoffs here, which is Professor FX and the Los Angeles Dodgers, coached by Regulator here. So the Mewtwo Lost FC, which I don't know why I didn't say, I said the coach's name instead, are going to be facing the Dodgers round 1. This is actually a matchup I did not expect to see in the playoffs, and I'm kind of interested about it because Greg is still a pretty solid player, and Professor FX also a very solid player. As you can see, he went 10-3 from his run this season. He is actually the first opponent that we played. I don't know if you can see it because of how the camera's put, but we played him week 1, and we were able to pull out a victory there. So that was really nice. So I'm hoping that these two guys have a good match, because there's very good potential that they can. Of course, the very scary offensive threats that Professor FX has are the Emboar and the Zoroark. Let's take a look at Greg's team here. His fairy type, I don't think is existent, well, except for Brumby. I mean, I guess Brumby can be a switch into Zoroark, but if it gets caught by like a Sludge Bomb or a Flamethrower, that's going to be taking so much damage. And if it's weakened too low, maybe something like Scarf Zoroark could come in and potentially sweep. And then Emboar is just terrifying, because you don't know if it's going to be physical, or is it going to be special, or is it going to be mixed. And in this matchup, just about every variant is absurdly terrifying. Actually, well, I kind of think he needs Grass Knot or Hidden Power Grass for Swampert, and then of course Greg can easily mitigate that with the potential Rindo berry. So Greg does have some kind of answers to the Emboar, but he doesn't have really anything that wants to try and take more than one hit from the Emboar, and that is very scary. And something I did realize actually is, hold on, let's go back, take a look at Professor FX's squad here. The Alomomola could come in very, very handy for this match, indefinitely, because if he's able to get rid of the Shaman, then I don't think that Greg is going to have a good answer for the Alomomola. I suppose he could take advantage of it, trying to set up on it, and he does actually have the Toxicroak. So I could definitely see Toxicroak coming just for the Alomomola, so he doesn't have to solely rely on Shaman. So that is something that could definitely be happening. Why do I keep getting these two mixed up? Okay, you know what? We're just going to leave it like this. Okay, we're going to leave it like this. Dragon Dance Flygon could maybe be a bit of a nuisance. Actually, especially offensive Flygon looks really good this match, the more that I'm looking at it. Because all he's got to do is catch Ribombee with like a Fire Blast, and then everything else is not going to appreciate taking anything like a Draco Meteor. So that would be something kind of cool to see from Professor FX if he is going to bring like especially offensive Flygon. Zoroark, very scary once the Ribombee drops. Although vice versa, like Ribombee's super scary for Professor FX's team because it can Quiver Dance and it could just sweep late game. And I'm pretty sure that Greg has swept with Ribombee this season before, so that is definitely going to be something to watch out for. So either way, I think this may have potential to be like the match of the first round of playoffs, because both of these coaches are good, and hopefully they do have a really good match. I don't know, either way though, we do have some solid matches for the first round of the playoffs. As I said, I may be doing the other rounds, but right now I just kind of want to focus on the round ones. Hopefully the Durham Druddigons win our match and we can move on to the semifinals and then into the finals, depending on who we do have to face. Let me know in the comment section below, who do you want to win out the season, or let me know what your outcomes or your predictions of these matches are in the comment section below. And with that being said, I will see you all next week, definitely with round one of the playoffs. And again, hopefully we can make it past the first round. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, hammer on that thumbs up button down below, and I will see you all later. So later, everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6 foot hacks, hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks, hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks, hacks.